I have seen the entire season, so you can speak freely and we'll hold anything that's spoilery until after,
Period.
okay?
Let's get into it.
Agnes Mackenzie, this is Daisy. Make her feel comfortable.
Chase, I'm going to start with you. What do you think after the initial kind of mandatory pairing makes Agnes kind of feel an affinity for Daisy?
An infinity.
Not
An infinity. An infinity.
Not an infinity.
I won't say it a third time.
I think because one of the fascinating things about, I love that I'm like about to like post up like this. One of the fascinating things about Gilead is there's not a lot of new girls that come into their world and into their life. And so I think that in general, she's very intrigued by Daisy and the fact that she comes from the outside. I almost quoted Dear Evan Hansen. But like on the outside, I was looking in. But but I think that that's something that really fascinates Agnes from the start. And then once they start to get to know each other, she realizes that they're very similar. And that kind of is something that she's not a fan of and she doesn't really like. And if anything, it pushes, it makes her want to push Daisy away because they're so similar that it's almost like Daisy's just a mirror up to Agnes.
No, that makes sense. And then Lucy, I'm wondering, how does Agnes measure up to what Daisy thinks like a typical commander's daughter is going to be like when she comes in?
Yeah, Daisy comes in with such strong preconceived notions of who she thinks these girls are. And as far as she's concerned, they're backwards, they're primitive, they're not as good as her, she's better, the end. And she has no interest in befriending them. And I think at first she's so determined to keep that idea when she meets Agnes, despite Agnes not necessarily, matching that ideology, but Daisy's determined to not befriend her or not like understand the true Agnes. But yeah, as the season develops, I think those walls certainly do dissipate for Daisy, and she realizes that Agnes isn't the person that Daisy thought she was. But it's interesting because I think we do that so often in reality. Like as a society, we form these generalizations about groups of people whom we've never met, and or we're often like, well, we're better than them because we are this, we're that, they're this, they're that, and actually we've never met them. And I think it's a testament to
You're
that.
on a roll.
It's a
We're also eating right now. Like
Wait, I need to it's a testament to that, and I think it showcases that downfall that we often have within ourselves. And Agnes is definitely different than the idea that Daisy first had, in a brilliant way, and actually there is a propensity for a beautiful friendship to exist there.
she said, I'm brilliant.
I actually don't think I
said
ever
I'm brilliant.
Actually,
It's
those
on
were
tape. We
like
have
my-
it. It's all
Exactly. I'm gonna have the footage and I'll send it right back to you.
Well, the Testaments takes place about 3 or 4 years after the end of the action in the Handmaid's Tale, and it really covers the upper echelon of society. In Handmaid's Tale, June is powerless. She's at the bottom rung of society. She's not even considered a person. She's, property. Serena is of the before world, very much so, in fact. She's a novelist or a writer in a world where she can't write anymore. These are all girls who grew up in Gilead. This is all they've known.
You can crush a part of Gilead, but these are ideas that will persist. Gilead will exist, whether it's a political party or it is its own sort of, walled off world. These are, ideas that, as we know in the real world, you can't just erase ideas or ideals.
And the Testament focuses on Aunt Lydia's academy, which is like a preparatory school for young women to learn how to become wives.
They don't have any perspective on the outside world. So Gilead and Aunt Lydia school and the friendships and people that they've grown up with are all that they know.
It's a coming of age story of these girls. And so therefore it's a lot more playful. It's about their dynamics and about their raging hormones of like liking boys and all of the normal things that girls go through when they're around that age.
I mean, I think they feel that everything that other teenage girls feel, but they just feel it in a world where like having feelings is actually really not conditioned or encouraged. There's the same things you have in high school. There's who sits where, who talks to who do we not like, who do we love. All of that exists within this world, which I think makes the show very fun because while there is like a dark undercurrent, there's so much laughter and fun gossip and It's interesting to see how these young women have formed, friendships in this very like dense world.
But I think that what you're seeing in Handmaids is these rights have been stripped away. Here, they don't know they exist. And the question is really, do you know innately that you're supposed to be free? What is adolescence in a place that doesn't want you to have adolescence at all?
Yeah.
It's too ooky. It's too gross for them. They don't want you to. They want to talk about periods all the time, but they don't want to talk about anything like any sex stuff. So they want you to go past adolescence and move into womanhood where they can figure it out. And so I think it's about how impossible that is and how powerful that time in a girl's life is. And even if they devote themselves to something like Daisy does, to a cause, you still can't put that independent, just, really, really, obstinate, wonderfully contrary personality elements that come with that, with being that age, to rest. Now, they may not be nearly as big as they would be in our country. In our culture, we allow them to bloom. They only get so big. They explode in Gilead because anything you try to stamp down is gonna complain.
There comes a time when you have to take action.
Lydia has a line that's something like, I've been hated and venerated and hated again. She's lasted so long in Gilead. Do you think she's afraid of anything? The woman literally had a noose around her neck one of the last times we saw her, right? Yeah. Do you think that maybe she thinks, bulletproof is the wrong word, but do you think that she has a little cachet now?
I think she does. I think one thing that she knows very well about herself is her instinct to survive. And I think that's what steers her course. And she's aware of other things that could go wrong, but I think she keeps herself very, very in the right position, quiet when needs to be quiet, but very alert and aware and eyes open to all situations. So I just think she's kind of on her own, a bit of a loner in that regard, if that makes sense.
No, it definitely does. And then Mabel, we see Vidala gunning for that top spot, right?
Yeah.
Talk to me about why you think Vidala wants that, because that is also a position that gets noticed a lot and can get blamed for a lot of things.
Well, first of all, I think she thinks that Aunt Lydia is getting too soft. I think she's noticing things.
That's an excuse, for heaven's sakes.
I think that Vidala doesn't agree with the Pearl Girl program, I think she thinks that Aunt Lydia is unfocused. And I'm sorry.
No, I'm interested.
Yeah.
I'm taking
Vidala, not Mabel. Yeah. And I think that top dog spot represents a level of security. And I think being a woman in Gilead, you are so restricted. Aunt Lydia's position is probably one of the only positions in the whole of Gilead that has some level of movement or influence. And I think that's really attractive.
And I'm wondering how you interpret Lydia's working with the younger girls. Do you think that she misses her handmaids? Do you think that she's not working at all at the Red Center anymore, right? She's just at the school.
She's not working at the Red Center. I think what she needed was time away. I think she still loves those girls, but it was time to focus elsewhere. I think that's one of the changes that she went through in the time between The Handmaid's Tale and the Testaments, and to be dealing with the young daughters in privileged circumstances of the high commanders and the Pearl Girls. I think she's hugely devoted to them, and there is real and sincere love for them.